my partner Marojas, my party mate Kiko Pangilinan, officers and members of the Makati Business Club, Your Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, my friends and countrymen. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to address you. I trust your asking me first is not based on an alphabetical order or based on age, but rather based on who you think will most likely win the coming election. As managers, you recognize that one of the necessary skills of an effective manager is time management. Is it possible that you have invited me to determine if there is still a necessity to spend time with others? Baka naman inunan niyo ako upang malaman kung sapat na ako at hindi na kailangan pansinin yung iba. I think we are all aware of the problems facing our country. We share the same statistics. We probably even share the same conclusions about the need for better governance. To rehash all of these problems at this forum would be a waste of your time. But what we have now is an opportunity for you to get to know me, to find out the advocacies that I champion, the perspective and philosophies I bring to the equation, and some of my proposed solutions, to give an insight into my inner persona. Levity aside, the political exercise that we will engage in this May is a crucial one. It will be, as it is for every fledgling democracy, a test of the strength of our political institutions. The peaceful transition of power has become a symbol of political maturity across the world, with many still failing to achieve the credibility that is the cornerstone of a genuine political mandate. With electoral scandals that have stalled our democratic progress as of late, it is not a test that we can afford to fail. We have an administration whose mandate is clouded in doubt and overshadowed by allegations of fraud because it refused every opportunity to clear the air and be held to account. Its choices have limited its decision-making to seeking ways to ensure day-to-day political survival and self-interest. We must now become a government committed to accountability. A government that works with the people in achieving long-term change. We must make the shift from bare economic survival to robust economic growth. We must make the change from treading water to keep afloat to reaching that promised shore where we can all stand tall as healthy, happy, educated, and responsible fellow citizens. But why does transformation seem like such an impossible dream? Isa sa mga tema ng ating kalaban, yung, and I quote, ang pagbabago, madaling sabihin yan, pero mahirap gawin, close quote, is probably echoed by a lot of Filipinos. The oft-repeated question is, why can't we advance? Why can't we progress? What is it in us that limits or prohibits our growth as a people and as a country? All of you are aware that most of the contenders have had years, possibly even decades of preparation for this electoral exercise. I had no such ambitions to run in the 2010 elections, but I responded to the people's clamor. I am but the face of what we believe is the overwhelming demand of our people to repudiate everything wrong in the current administration. Given that I only announced my decision to seek the presidency on September 9, and I only came to that decision the day before, I have not had material time comparable to our opponents. What is perplexing is that viewing the same problems and having access to the same data for the most part, we believe the solutions have been there all along and necessitate only clear political will to execute. But most of our opponents seem to indicate the contrary opinion, that there is very little that we can do to change the situation. One has to wonder, did they overstudy the problem or are they committed to preserving the status quo? If the leader is not convinced that change is not only necessary but extremely possible, how does he lead us to the promised land? What is it that we want to change? We want to repair the damage that has been wrought on our democratic institutions by those who have sought to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. We want to improve the situation of our people who have suffered years of neglect because of a self-absorbed leadership obsessed with political survival. They are poor. Many of them are homeless. Each year we add some 2.5 million mouths to feed to our already hungry population. Of these new additions, 1/3 were the result of unplanned pregnancies. We have a growing underclass that statistics tell us have given up looking for work. A permanent underclass that includes the 5 million of our countrymen that are illiterate, which means their opportunities in life will always be limited to living hand to mouth. We want to give our young the opportunity and means to improve their lot in life. It can only begin if our children and their parents are assured that money spent on education is money well spent. Unfortunately, students are at the mercy of our decrepit education system that allows double shifting, erroneous textbooks, and substandard nursing schools to exist. No less than DepEd officials admitted that students in grade 1 take 3 subjects in one class period. We have a procurement program so heedless of the need for excellence that it doesn't care if it produces a textbook series riddled with 500 factual errors. For every 100 kids that start grade school with the hope of achieving their dreams, only 14 will graduate from college and possess a tangible means to materially improve their lives. To my mind, the crucial lacking element in all of this is a government committed to a transformation from a society overwhelmingly poor to one overwhelmingly middle class. In every developed, progressive, prosperous democracy, it is the middle class that is the biggest class. Government, for one, has failed to make the conceptual leap from patronage to development. Efforts at feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, providing basic care to the sick, and offering a quality education aren't only the people's rights, they are the essential tools for individual self-improvement. In 1998, when I first campaigned for public office, one lady bluntly told me that regardless of who is elected, things would remain the same for her. What did she mean? That she was poor to begin with, that she would probably remain poor, and in fact, she would be lucky if she didn't end up poorer after the candidates have left office. This brings up the question at the forefront of the minds of our countrymen, still undecided on whom to vote for and pursued by my critics. If this is a time that calls for national transformation, am I qualified to be that transformative leader? Having answered the call of duty, can I ask you or anyone to entrust me with your vote on faith alone? Never having sought the presidency, I preferred to do my duty and not seek the limelight. Now that I've been thrust in the limelight, it is only fair to answer the question.